So the first consonant I'm starting with is this one, which is the sound th. So this one is made with the teeth, the tongue, pressing lightly on the back of the top teeth, like this, th, and allowing air to come out. Students can put their hands in front of their mouths and feel the air coming out, th, th. This is unvoiced and th, 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 so there shouldn't be any vibration. Kelly suggests comparing phonemes for students to find it easier. So we could compare it against this one, which is the, which is voiced and has vibration and no air coming out. The. And these are two quite difficult sounds and they're useful to be compared. The next one I want to look at is the sound ch, and this is made by putting the tongue on the alveolar ridge, which is at the top, the blade of the tongue, so at the top of the mouth, the ridge, and pushing air out. So ch, ch. And again, this is unvoiced, so there's no vibration. Ch, ch. So we could say cha-cha-cha, for example, like the dance, and that's how I would help people, students. I'll get students dancing around the room to cha-cha-cha, which is a way of remembering it. The next one I wanted to look at was the two diphthongs in part 2. We start with this one. I've got a diagram here to help students. This is the inside the mouth, and this is the I. So we have starting with a, and then going forwards, gliding into I. So I. And here we have a picture of an eye to help students remember. This idea came from Kelly. Another one here, we have another diphthong, which is air. So here we have the back going into the centre from the eh. So students start with the eh and glide into the the schwa sound. So we have a picture here of hair, so air. The next part 3 I wanted to look at was my student is an L1 individual student. He's C2 level, coming for fluency and for speaking activities. So pronunciation activities and helping him seems very ideal. The student has communicative competency and not too many intelligibility problems being at this level, but sometimes he's not using the schwa correctly, and he's also not using schwa in terms of unstressed and weak forms in sentence stress. So I thought the two married quite nicely together, and as he's a high level, he can learn and take in quite a lot of activities. So we started off with the schwa here, and this is the sound, and Kelly calls this the Friday afternoon sound. So this is quite amusing for my student as he comes on a Friday afternoon, and you could see the irony. So we have the sound which I think is quite good. I made my own chart adapted from Adrian Underhill's by colour coding it, making the schwa very special here in gold, and asked my student to try through the discovery model and guess why the schwa was on its own and very special in gold. And as we know, it's the most ubiquitous phoneme in the English language, and it's also because English is a stressed time language that the unstressed weak sounds are very common, and students often get this wrong. This is a challenge for my particular student. I also made some tiles here, and we went through the phonemic chart with the tiles together and looked at some other sounds for the future. I also recorded my student so that we can compare future recordings to see his progress, a thing which he liked very much. So the first activity we did was comparing two sets of sounds with a recorded speaker. The first 1 to 10, A and B sound. One had a schwa, one not, and the student had to circle the correct one with the schwa. We then went into running dictation where my student did the running and the dictation, thus going into a productive activity. I was listening and writing down any schwa sounds or unstressed correct sounds in word stress and sentence stress by writing in red to see whether he was producing these sounds correctly. We then went into a grass skirt activity where I cut up a piece of paper to look like a grass skirt with strips with sentences on, and then the student also had to choose cards from an envelope which you couldn't predict, with words like feelings words like over the moon, embarrassed, ecstatic, nervous, truculent, etc. Then he had to marry these words with the sentences and say them in that style, thus changing the unstressed and stressed parts of the words, the sentence and the sentence stress, and bringing out the schwa and weak forms. The student had to then produce for homework their own grass skirt with sentences on it, and their own envelope with cards on with feelings words, etc., or personality adjectives. As it's the holidays, he's got longer to do this, and he was very happy and enjoyed the activities a lot. In a few weeks we'll be recording him again to see his progress.